Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Now today we're taking a look at a lens I purchased to use with my Fuji X-mount bodies. At the moment I've got it fitted to my Fuji XS20 and we've got it here, and it is the Sigma DC-DN 10-18 F2.8 sort of ultra wide angle lens, ultra wide angle zoom effectively. It's great. It's really, really good. Now, many people recommend this lens, and I can see why they do. Being ultra wide, in full frame terms, it equates to about 15 to 27 mil. So 15, which is ultra wide, to 27, which is wide angle. So that's great for your street photography, great for your architecture, great for anything where you want to create those angles, those really nice straight angles. I'm going to show you a few examples here. How I use it for going out and about street photography, great for indoors because of the constant f2.8 aperture. And when I say it's constant, regardless of where you are in the zoom range, it remains at f2.8 at its widest aperture. Very, very well made. It's very similar to the build quality of the Sigma DC-DN 18-50 lens. In fact, it's part of the same family of lenses. The lens hood is a little bit different to that one. This one has a push-on lens hood. The only thing I find with that, when you're pushing it on, it will push the zoom in. So if you've got it zoomed out to say 10 mil, and it works the other way around actually, at 10, it zoomed right out, then 18, it zoomed in. So it's kind of back to front if you ask me, but it is what it is. So to put the lens hood on, you just line up a little arrow or a little dot and you just push it on, which is fine once you get used to it. But I found that a bit awkward at first because I was used to a bayonet mount lens hood where you twist it on. But I mean, it's fine. And it don't fall off, it's there. The only other things I did find, once you've got the lens hood on, the hood is really tight up against the zoom ring. And that took me a little bit of getting used to, but the hood is buttoned up right against the zoom ring. But again, it's one of those little quirks that you get used to. It is a really, really lightweight lens. It's only 282 grams. It works great on the XS20 because of its sheer size and weight. And also, it's made for the Sony E-mount as well. So it'll work great on the Sony E-mount as well because of its lightweight. So if you're using it on something like the A6700, 6500, you know, you're winning. Now, there is no in-lens image stabilization in the lens. You are reliant on the image stabilization in the camera body. Well, that's not a problem. A, it's a wide angle lens, so you don't really need to worry about image stabilization. And B, most of the modern cameras have in-body image stabilization anyway, such as my Fuji XS20, that's got IBIS inside the body of the camera, and so has my Fujifilm X-T50, that's got image stabilization in the body of the camera, so you don't need to worry about that either. There's no buttons or switches on the lens, and that's another reason that is great, because it makes it really compact. If it did have buttons and switches on it, A, it would make it more expensive, B, it would make it slightly bulkier and heavier. The zoom ring is nice and smooth. It's at the front of the lens and the focus ring is at the back. Some lenses are the other way around, but I mean, I don't use manual focus, so that doesn't worry me in the slightest. Build quality is beautiful, as you would expect from a Sigma lens. The autofocus is really good, it's really silent, and it's really fast. So everything about this lens really does tick all the boxes. And it works great on the XS20. That's a 26 megapixel sensor body, but also it works just as well on the Fujifilm X-T50 and the X-H2. Now, both those cameras have the 40 megapixel sensor in, so quite demanding for lenses to get that lovely resolution. Well, you have no problems with this lens, I can assure you. It'll work great on the X-T50, which is a 40 megapixel sensor body, and it also works great on the X-H2, which is a 40 megapixel sensor body. So now if we have a quick look at some of these images. Now, as I say, some of these images are taken in my garden, some of them are taken out and about. So if we have a quick look at this, that's at, I think 10 mil, that's at 10 mil, and that's at 18 mil. So you can see there's quite a contrast between ultra wide and wide colours are great, sharpness is great, definition is really good, and you know, you're not going to have any issues with it. Now if we have a look at these images here, they're great for, as I say, for your buildings. You get the whole of a building in, but the straight lines just look really good. It really accentuates straight lines, makes tall buildings look even taller. So yeah, I mean, look at that, just looks really, really nice. You know, as I say, colours are lovely, but the sharpness, even at its widest aperture at f2.8, is still really sharp. And this is taken on the Fujifilm X-T50. So if the X-T50 is resolving the images well, then they're going to be resolved quite nicely on, you know, a camera body with a smaller sensor. Now these images will be available on my Flickr page. I leave a link in the description of this video where you can find them on Flickr. It'd be much better looking at them on Flickr than it will do on this video. A, because I'm just spinning through them, and B, YouTube's compression really doesn't highlight how good these images are, really, or how good the camera sensor is, and how good, you know, this lens works with these sensors. Both, you know, the 26 megapixel sensor and the 40 megapixel sensor just works really, really well. It's nice to pair this with the likes of this Sigma DCDN 18-50. So I can use one lens on one body and this ultra wide lens on the other body, and just go out with just these two bodies and lenses. So yeah, really, really nice and compact. So nice zoom ring. So the only thing is, I do find sometimes the zoom ring is a bit tight to the lens hood. But so I am getting used to that now, and it's not really an issue once you get used to it. The Sigma DCDN 10-18 is also a great vlogging lens. Now, I don't use it for vlogging because I'm not really into vlogging. I have got it fitted to my Fujifilm XS20, only because the XS20 has got the articulating screen. I can actually see that it's recording. It's got the red record frame around the monitor. If I use it on my XT50, I wouldn't be able to do that because the X-T50's got the tilty-wilty screen. Also, the XS20 isn't that heavy a camera. I wouldn't want to use it on the XH1, that's a bit heavier. Now I've got this set to 10mm at the moment, and I've got image stabilization turned on, and I haven't got digital image stabilization. I've only got optical and IBIS turned on, as opposed to using digital image stabilization. And I think at 10mm that works great. It gets plenty of the surroundings in, and I can take that in a bit tighter if I wanted to. So you can take that in a bit tighter there, and that still works really, really well with this lens. And that's the beauty of using an ultra wide zoom lens for your vlogging, because you do need to add image stabilization. And even if I added digital stabilization, it would still be really, really good. It wouldn't crop it in too tight. It does crop it, but it wouldn't be particularly tight. And I think that is a really handy thing with using a wide angle lens or ultra wide angle lens for your vlogging. And so I could use it on the X-T50, but it'd be a bit pointless. So yeah, great vlogging lens if you're into vlogging, particularly if you've got something like the XS20 or the XS10 maybe. So yeah, great lens for video, but a great lens for vlogging as well. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, all round, it's a really, really nice lens. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that introduction video to that lens useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of this video. Would really, really appreciate that. Does help me grow the channel. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.